Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another live stream here on my channel. And we're going to talk a little bit today, now that it's open enrollment, about finding the best Medicare Advantage plan. So I hope that this is something that you find helpful. And if you can hear me and see me and all that good stuff, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the chat. It helps me out tremendously, because when I start these live streams, I'm kind of flying blind. So I'm going to get into the video here in just a minute. In fact, I'm actually just trying to access the chat myself and get logged in here. So happy Election Day. Hopefully you were able to get out and vote today and make your voice heard. We're blessed to be able to live in a country where we're able to do that, and no matter who you vote for, I believe it's an incredible honor that we should all take advantage of when the opportunity is afforded to us. So it's a rainy day here. Those of you who don't know, I'm based out of Minnesota, and so it's a rainy day here in Minnesota on this election day. So I'm going to tell you a quick story before we get into the meat of the video, and that is I want to talk just for a minute about how Medicare affects my family personally. So ironically, not only do I have family members on Medicare, but I got into Medicare because of my dad and my brother. Some of you may have seen a video from a few weeks ago that I did with my brother, but a lot of people don't know this, but I actually have a younger sister who is on Medicare as well. She is on disability, and so I have parents that are on Medicare. I have a sister that's on Medicare. I have in-laws that are on Medicare. I have clients that are family members that are on Medicare and are clients of mine and their family. I might have repeated myself. But for me personally, Medicare is not just what I do here on YouTube and with my help with people, connecting them with the coverage, but it's also something that really impacts the people that I know and care about. So because it is the Medicare open enrollment, what I wanted to do today is just give a very simple tutorial, so to speak, on if you are in the market for a new Medicare Advantage plan, how you can go about finding the one that's right for you. So I'm going to share my screen here, jump over to the Medicare website. This is just medicare.gov. And I'm going to go to this little button right here that says Find Plan. So this is how, this is kind of a preliminary place that you can look to see which plans are available in your area. And so you're just going to click this Find Plans button. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a couple different options, whether we're looking for 2025 or 2024. Oops, hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. So for the sake of this video, we're going to look at it from the standpoint of open enrollment, and we're going to do 2025, and I'm just going to put in a recent zip code for here in Minnesota, and we're going to dive in. So what we're going to look for in this particular video is Medicare Advantage plans. You can also shop Medicare drug plans, as well as Medigap policies, but we're going to look at Medicare Advantage. Now, I will tell you that on the Medicare website, you can create your own Medicare account and actually log in to compare plans on your own. It's kind of a nice feature, and as you'll see in a minute, you can also, if you do have an online account, you can also upload your prescription drugs. But I'm going to do this logged out for the sake of this video. So we're going to click Find Plans. Then what it's going to do is it's going to ask us a series of questions, starting with, do you get help with your Medicare health or drug costs? So it says, if you get help with your Medicare health or drug costs from one of the programs below, it's important for us to know so that we can show you accurate cost information when you search for and compare plans. So as you can see here, the programs that it's asking about are Medicaid, Supplemental Security Income, Medicare Savings Program, Extra Help with drug costs. So that's what you're kind of looking at there to try and determine, okay, do you get help with any of these? For the sake of this video, we're going to put no, I don't get any help from these, and we're going to click continue. Then it's going to ask, as I mentioned, do you want to input your prescription drugs when you compare plans? Normally, I would recommend doing this because the prescription drug coverage, it varies by what prescriptions that you take. So, for example, let's say that you take 4 or 5 prescriptions. If you just looked at the premiums on these plans, you're not going to know what your out-of-pocket cost sharing is on those prescription drugs unless you enter them in or, work with an agent who helps you. So in order to get a true sense of the annual costs on that Medicare Advantage plan, it is helpful to be able to put your prescriptions in. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to click no. It's going to ask, are you sure? And then we're going to click next. Okay, so this is for Anoka, Minnesota. And as you're going to see right here, we're going to drop down and it's going to tell us that in this particular area, there are 43 Medicare Advantage plans available. Okay. Again, this is based on this location button here. So we could change this location and see plans in another area. For example, let's say we wanted to look at Illinois. So we would go over, we would change to Lake Illinois. We could update it. And again, it's going to show us roughly 47 different plans. So I'm not going to go into detail with showing all the plan details, but what I do want to highlight for you here is that if you are in the market for a Medicare Advantage plan, the nice thing about the way that Medicare does this is you can actually filter down your search options. So you can do it by plan benefits. In other words, if you want vision, dental, hearing, transportation benefits, you can do it by the insurance carrier. So if you're looking for a particular insurance carrier, you can choose that and it will, again, filter that down to that company. Again, drug coverage includes drug coverage, doesn't include drug coverage. For most people, they're going to want the one that includes drug coverage. The other nice thing is it actually gives you this, what's called the star rating. So the star rating is actually something that all of the Medicare Advantage companies have to get from the government themselves. And so obviously the higher the star, the better. So it's very, very difficult to get a 5-star Medicare Advantage plan. So if you do see those, it's pretty rare. So you could click, you want 3 stars and up or 4 stars and up, and then you would just click apply. Once you do all of that, you can actually click view all filters. And then what that's going to do is it's going to apply all of the filters that you preemptively put in there. Now, the one thing I should mention is that when you are looking at these plans, you want to make sure that you are, again, making sure all of your providers are in network, meaning doctors that you go to, specialists that you go to. Make sure that your hospital is in network. Make sure that whatever pharmacy that you get your prescription drugs in, you want to make sure that pharmacy is preferred pricing, because pharmacies can have different pricing. So again, that's something that you're going to want to put in when you're doing all of this. And sometimes it can't hurt to check with your provider, your doctor's office. Just get information from them about, hey, how does this plan work, or what plans do you see as a provider that works really well. So again, this is just giving you just kind of a sample, showing you how, again, you can compare all of these plans. It's very straightforward. If you do create an online account, it is going to give you the opportunity to also check for your providers. So again, it's a neat tool. It can still be overwhelming with all of this information, because obviously in one county that we're looking at right here, there's 47 different Medicare Advantage plans. So then the question becomes, well, how do I know, between one Medicare Advantage plan and another, what to look for? So what you want to look for is the outline of coverage or the summary of benefits. And what I would look for are things like, how much does it cost if you go to the doctor? Because some Medicare Advantage plans, you're going to have a copayment. Some you won't. How much is it going to cost if you go to a specialist? Those copayments can vary. So don't look just at the premium. You also want to take into consideration some of those other costs. Another thing I always draw people's attention to is hospitalization. A lot of people don't know this, but Medicare actually started because of hospital costs. So between one Medicare Advantage plan and another Medicare Advantage plan, you might have a few $100 copayment per day that you're in the hospital. And with another one, it might be a few $100 per stay. And so those costs can vary greatly. The other thing is skilled nursing facility. If you're ever transferred from the hospital into a skilled nursing facility, let's say for rehab, what's the out-of-pocket going to be on that? So you can start to look through the details of that plan, the outline of coverage or the summary of benefits, and you can kind of look and see, okay, how much is it going to cost with this copayment? The other thing I'll draw your attention to is that with prescription drug costs, as I mentioned earlier, it's helpful to enter those in order to get an accurate idea of what the costs will be. But always remember that there are 5 tiers usually on these drug plans. Tiers 1 and 2, if you fall in that category, is usually a small copayment. Once you get into tiers 3, 4, and 5, it usually many times can become a coinsurance that can be very expensive. So let's say you take a tier 3 drug and it's expensive and you have to pay 25 or 35% coinsurance. Well, that could be a large sum of money that you're going to want to be aware of. So that's how you kind of get down into the details as far as comparing those between each other. Again, this is why it's important to make sure that you have your drugs in there, check your providers, providers meaning doctors, specialists, clinics, hospitals. The other thing is if you choose one with dental, you're going to want to make sure the dentist is in network. And then, of course, hospitals are the hospitals in network. So again, this is just something that you can do on your own. Again, you just go to Medicare.gov. It is right here on the home page right now as of the making of this video. It's called Find Plans. So if you click there, you can do some of your own research. As I said, you can also look at Medicare drug plans as well as Medigap policies. Typically, you don't see prices on the Medigap plan, and you may have to enter in some additional information here. So that's just something that you want to be aware of. So that's all I have for you guys in today's videos. I don't think I saw any questions, but I know some people watched, so I appreciate those of you who tuned in. If you like videos like this about Medicare, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget, get out and vote.